Chapter 2. On the morning of the trip, I woke early, but not as early as Pink Rabbit. He was already up and dancing around the bedroom when I opened my eyes, practicing his pose and pirouettes. "Today's the day we see Tatiana too," I said excitedly, hopping straight out of bed and started to get dressed. I put on my smartest outfit and then picked up Pink Rabbit's little waistcoat. "You must wear this," I told him. "It's important to look smart for the ballet." Pink Rabbit let me put the waistcoat on him, and then we flew down the stairs to breakfast. "Good morning," said Mom, who was already up and busy feeding Honey Blossom her bottle of pink milk. "I'm going to drop Honey Blossom off at the babysitter's in a minute," she said. "I'll meet you and Dad at school. You can work there with him." "Okay," I said as I started to eat my breakfast. I watched Mom flitted around the kitchen, packing all the baby things into the bag. Then she went into the hall and put Honey Blossom into a plum. "See you soon, Isadora," she called as she left the house. I continued to sit at the table and eat my breakfast. It was so quiet without Mom and Honey Blossom. "I hope Dad's come down soon," I said to Pink Rabbit. He twitched his nose worriedly, but Dad was nowhere to be seen. An awful thought struck me. "I hope he wasn't overslept," I said. "It's almost time to leave." Together we jumped down from the table and flew up the stairs. I banged loudly on the door in Mom and Dad's bedroom. There was no answer. All I could hear was the sound of someone snoring. "Oh dear," I whispered, pushing open the door. Dad was lying in the bed with all the curtains closed and his ice mask down. He was fast asleep. "Dad!" I shouted in a panic. "Wake up! We have to leave for the school trip." Dad joked awake and sat bolt upright up in the bed. He rippled off his ice mask and started to frenzy around the room. "It's the school trip," I said. "It's today." "Oh no," wailed Dad dreamily. "Dismay, I overslept." "It's okay," I said. "If you can't get ready in 5 minutes, we will still on the bed time." 5 minutes, said Dad aghast. "I can't get ready in 5 minutes. It's taken me half an hour just to do my hair." I sighed. Vampires are very picky about the way they look. They like to always be perfectly sleek and groomed. "Well, we can't be late and hold everyone else up," I told him certainly. Pink Rabbit and I went back down the stairs and put on my smartest cape. We waited by the door in 5 minutes, but Dad not appear. "Dad!" I shouted. "It's time to go!" All right, I'm coming," he grumbled, appearing at the top of the stairs. He didn't look like my dad at all. His hair was sticking up all over the place. He was wearing a pair of odd socks. "Honestly," he complained as he made his way down into the stairs, "what a time to have be awake." I opened the front door and the 3 of us stepped out into the frosty air. Together, we walked along the garden path, through the gate, and down the road to school. We couldn't walk very fast because Dad kept stopping to keep her in the car windows. "I've just got to comb this bit of hair," he explained, "and this bit too." At last, an angry man went down the car window and shouted at Dad to stop staring in at him, and Dad jumped back into the fridge. "I think I'll wait until we get into the school," he said, putting his comb away. Mom was already there when I arrived, wearing a bright pink heavy jacket. Mrs. Cherry was busy checking names of the register. "Marvelous," she said, beaming round into the room at everyone. "We are all here." she borrowed in the teacher's bag and cut up with another bright pink heavy jacket. She held out into towards Dad. "You need to wear this, Mr. Moon," she said. "It's so that all the children can see where you are at all times, even the house unsafely." Dad looked horrified. I can't wear that," he protested. "It does go with my outfit." "Don't be silly," hissed Mom. "Just put it on." Dad put on a jacket, but he didn't look very happy about it. "I look ridiculous," he sniffed, very unrememberably. Mrs. Cherry put her clipboard away and clapped a hand for silence. "Is everyone ready?" she asked. "It's time to go." We all started to follow her towards the door, but I noticed that Dad was going to opposite directions. "I'm going to finish doing my hair," he explained. "You all go on without me. I can catch you up." "I wouldn't be a minute." He disappeared up into the bathroom while the rest of us all followed Mrs. Cherry out of the school towards the train station in the middle of the town. Everyone was excited. The air was full of chattering. I felt especially excited because I had never been on the train before. "I can't believe you never been on the train," said Joe, who was working next to me and holding Pink Rabbit's other paws. "Everyone's been on the train before." "Not me," I told them. "My family must fly anywhere." The train station was big and gray and noisy. The train looked like giant metal creepers crawling up and down into the tracks. Mom didn't seem too happy, and her fairy wings started to drop a little bit. "Where are the flowers?" she asked. "Where are the protests? Where are all the lovely natures?" She pointed at the wand and the couple of empty gray hand baskets, which were fastened into the station wall. Out of them into the class started over into the sides. "Much better," she said, smiling. She waved her wand again, and this time the gray sorter was shoot all over the popular form. "Hey!" shouted the train conductor, started to walk towards us and waving his ticket machines about. "What are you doing?" "I'm just," began Mom, but her words were drowned out of the sound of the train pulling up next to us. "Come on, everyone, quickly," said Mrs. Cherry, hurriedly bangling everyone into the carriage. She pressed the button to shut the door before the train conductor could reach us. Zoe pulled me towards the pair of the seats, and we sat as the train started to move away from the station. I felt a bit dizzy of excitement to be inside a huge clacking metal carriage. Pink Rabbit and I started out onto the window and watched as the houses and trees rushed past into the lightning speeds. "It's almost like flying," I said to Zoe as we chatted and looked at the sincerely. Mrs. Cherry walked on up and down the carriage, taking the register again. "Just checking that everyone is on the board," she said. "Everyone is us, except Dad." "Oh dear," I said to Joe. "I thought Dad would have to cut up into us by now. I guess he wouldn't be coming after all." Just then, Pink Rabbit began to fidget around my lap, pointing with his paws out of the window. He had spotted something into the sky. "What is it, Pink Rabbit?" I asked. "What can you see?" We peered up into the sky and squinted. "It's a bird," said Jasper. "A big black bird with a bright pink tummy. I said, squinting harder. I don't think it is a bird. I think it's your dad, squealed Zoe. Your dad flying towards us. We watched as Dad squirts closer. His vampire cape flowing out behind them. Vampires are flying very fast, and it wasn't long before he was alongside into the train, smiling in the window. It's Isadora's dad! Screaming the class, all standing up into the carriage and pointing at him. Look! Thank Sugar Plum Fairies for that, sighed Mom in relief. Oh my goodness, said Mrs. Cherry, with her hands clasped at her throat. That can be safe. Don't worry, said Mom, leaning over the padded Mrs. Cherry's leg in her comfortable shirt of the way. My husband is a very traveling flyer. Dad continued to fly alongside the train until we stopped at the next station. Then he stepped into the carriage and floated down into the seat. Phew! He said. That's my delight class completed. The class all cheered and Mrs. Cherry gave a friendly smile.